Hey there everyone, it's Val, and welcome back to today's end of the day tour for Tolkiencraft II, The Labors of Valentine. I have a lot to show you. In fact, I did a lot off camera since this stream and my end of my last stream. I spent about 8 hours building walls. Lots and lots and lots and lots of walls, as you can see. Ignore that central building for a moment. That didn't exist until today. In today's stream I built that. But if you have a look, these are the shells of the walls that will be here. So it gives you the overall shape of the fortress now, and I think it's looking pretty cool. Like I said, ignore the center thing there. We'll talk about that in a moment. There will be filigree on the outside and on the inside, so that the walls will be thicker than what they appear like now. But I haven't decided on said filigree. This is just the shell. Over here, of course, this is where the docks are going, and we are going to have, this is going to be an arched supports to support the wall above it. And right now these are still here, but they're only really for guides for me. We are hopefully going to have a gate that will open and close. I will see if we can actually do that. A gate that will open and close to let ships in and out. So they can come in, park here, load and unload, and then proceed on through, and then we shut the gates so the orcs don't come knocking on our dock doors. So most of the towers, actually all the new towers are basically, well, empty tubes. They will have probably, I think I'm going to have stairwells that goes up to the top of them. Some of them will actually have rooms in them, depending on what I decide that particular tower needs. So, still lots and lots and lots of building to do. And I didn't get any more of the balconies done because I was too busy building lots of walls. Now, today, I had intended to do building. In fact, I was going to work on those balconies I just mentioned. But no, squirrels got me. They got me thoroughly. We ended up going back to Draconis and working on a quest line. And it is actually the... Hang on here. Let's get out of here. It's actually... Oh, yes, I forgot to claim that. Let's just do that. After you go and talk to Captain Ahab, as the king has suggested you do, then this one opens, but also you get a quest line for... Let me go all the way down here. Down here. And we ended up going to Wyvernhaven. And because we went to Wyvernhaven, we started the Missing Posters quest. And that is... I'm not going to spoil the quest. I'm just going to say that it's a very long, involved quest, and it involves blood magic. And it is very cool, and I'm enjoying it immensely. And that's why I got sidetracked by the squirrels so thoroughly today, because I was having too much fun. Even if I was getting upset with the elves, there was literally about 15 elves in here, in this building. They would not leave. So I had to build a raised doorway so I could actually get some work done in peace and quiet. Anyway, as I was saying. So for this quest line, I ended up starting up building my blood altar. And this is the place that I had planned all along to put it. And in fact, our Thom is going to go higher in this building. And probably roughly about here we'll have another floor, and that's where the Thom is going to go. And this building is actually going to be a very, very tall building. In fact, the top of this building is going to be level with the top of that tower. That's the plan. So you can come up here in the tower and you'll be able to look out over the countryside for quite some distance. And again, these are just the shells of the walls. It's going to look much nicer when it's done. That's basically just the shell. Right, so you might say, well, Val, where did you get all the blood that you need in order to do this work? Well, we had a gift. a beautiful, lovely gift of an bedrockium drum chock full of life essence. Life essence gained from evil ass hattery, i.e. mobs, and not from poor innocent people like myself or villagers, etc. And in fact, I'm going to go down here. No, up here, sorry. This barrel was right under this, so you can see that this was a gift from GreatOrator. He promised me life essence. I didn't ask for it. He just said he was going to provide it like he has before, so I don't have to do the initial part of blood magic. For people who do not know of my problem with the start of blood magic, is that, and this is just a personal thing, doesn't bother some people, and that's fine. I respect their right to slice themselves up if they're so inclined. However, I don't think we need to encourage people to do it, and there are enough reasons that people find to self-harm in their lives without having a game encourage them to do so. And that's my, in a nutshell, is my objection to the start of blood magic, is that part. And GreatOrator makes it so I don't have to ever worry about doing it. Thank you, GreatOrator. You are fabulous. Right, so I have one other present to show you. It's actually been here for a while. Back when Robert, texsf, started, I gave him a pair of angel wings that I made for him so he could fly about. And he left a thanks for the wings. And I don't know how long it's been here, but it's been a while. And I am getting my thank you gift. So I'm glad you enjoyed the wings, Robert. And a little bit of a freezing there. We've been doing a lot of teleporting today, but it's not too bad. But now we can remove that because you guys know about it now too. As I always like to do, if I can, is save the presents to show you guys. That means I should probably grab that sign too right here. Alright. Now, an update on an issue that I discovered during the end, or my last end of the day tour. You may recall that this was just about drain dry, and it's is it still growing? No, it's still going down. I ended up hooking it back up to the communal lava source to rebuild all the energy I lost. In fact, it actually gave me a bit more energy than I planned, but that's okay. But I did solve the issue that I had with too much power being drawn by my wireless access point for my wireless terminal. And it was a very simple solution. I realized that the size, when you put a stack of 64 in there, is huge. It's humongous. It's, well, about 2.5 times the radius of my base. So I did not need 64 in there. And when I cut it back to 27, the power draw became something much more reasonable. So that was a much easier solution than I expected. But I just thought I'd mention that in case, I'm sure anybody that watched the last one probably said, well, you could probably reduce it with that. But at the time I was doing the end of the day tour, I did not think of that. Right. Oh, I guess I should check my mailboxes just in case I've gotten any mail. I don't think I have. Oh, it's up top. What's it going to be the official entrance up here? Let's see. No. NPCs send you letters sometimes, so I just figured I'd better check. I hadn't done so in a while. Right, so let's just go out here. Another thing that I realized that I had miscalculated on, which, well, it's okay. We will work around it. You may notice you can't see the water wheels anymore. They're still there. They're mostly inside this wall. And in fact, if I just poke a hole here, you can see that they're there. And there was only a couple that were visible, so what I did was I ended up just covering them up with dirt. So they're still doing their work, you just can't see them. And so instead, what I'm going to do, since the water that originally was visible here is no longer visible because the wall is just thick enough that it obscures it. Instead, once we get our water moat put in place here with the sort of little lake out front, I'm going to have the water come around and probably around this way. And over here somehow I have to decide how I'm going to mold the hill to have it flow. But the water is going to flow down here, and I'll add another line of water wheels that will be visible for people to visually enjoy. And that will also have the beneficial side effect of adding more power for me to use. So I think it will still look cool. It's just not where I originally thought it was going to go. It just didn't work out that way. Right, I think I have covered everything that I planned to do. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this end of the day tour. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you something before I end it. Something I could not remember how to do this. BBB reminded me. I've done this like 2 or 3 times before, but once you set it up, you don't need to touch it again. So unless you're using it a lot, it's easy to forget. And, well, I forgot. Right, so we are using thermodynamics ducts to pull these slates out as they're being made. However, in order to put them in, and you want them only to go in one at a time, if you use the item ducts, it's just going to throw the whole stack in there. And even if you set it to only send one at a time, it sends one, and then it sends one, and then so you still end up with a stack in there, just slower. So what you need to use to make this work properly is an item translocator, and it's a pretty simple recipe, and you get 2 of them, and you put one on one side and one on the other. You have to shift right click them on, and then you take a diamond nugget, which is pretty easy to make. You just put a diamond in the thing here in your crafting grid, and take your diamond nugget and you put it on the edge, because if you look here, this has a similar protuberance, and I could put a diamond nugget on there, but you don't need to. I'm just showing it for comparison. So you put the diamond nugget on there, and then you right click it to push it in, and then you can see that that's the direction of flow. And the diamond nugget is what constricts the flow of items, so that it only sends one at a time, and it'll only send another one when this becomes empty. Right, so then you can go here and put in your filters. So I just right clicked on the top of the block here, and I said filter, I want you to send in stones. And I think I'm going to take them out and let that fill up a little bit here, because it's, when you see the gray puffs, it means it's wasting blood. Anyway, yes, so that little thingy, it took me forever to remember what the name of it was, and in fact I didn't remember. I had to look at the mod list and go down the list until I came across the Translocator mod, and I went, oh yeah, that's what it's called. So, very useful. Only use it once in a while. I hope I don't forget again, but I probably will. I hope you find that little thing there of interest and use for yourself when you're setting up, well, not just your blood magic, but I'm sure there's other situations where you would want just one thing to go, and only one, until the receiving inventory is empty again. Alright, so this time I'm pretty sure I'm done. Thank you guys very much for watching this end of the day tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the stream sometime. You all take care now. Bye.